Welcome to the new year. It's kind of Arctic conditions this morning. As you can see, we had lots of snow, and wind, and more snow. And now we got the cold temperatures. The sun is just rising, and I'm going to go take a look at what the thermometer says. We had 30 below earlier. Now it looks like I still got about 28 below. Plenty cold out here. We'll see what the temps in the greenhouse are now. We've had a couple of snowstorms and a lot of wind, so we got a lot of snow piled up around here. It looks like it's frosty in there, but it's never frozen here yet that I know of. Feels a lot better. Looks like we got about 36 degrees in here, and I just got to hook the rocket stove up. I got to run the pipe. I got a pipe there I run out through the window, and I'll get that going. And then it looks like we'll have some sunshine today too, so that'll really warm it up in here. First, I got to get this window thawed out. I'm going to use this heat gun. These are pretty handy sometimes, and especially in this kind of weather. Especially if you have like a diesel vehicle and the fuel filter gets froze up or gelled up or something. You can hit it with this hot air gun and kind of thaw it out with safety. And the same thing if your propane regulator gets froze up, like's happened here a few times. A lot of times when it gets like maybe colder than 35 below, the pressure regulator on the propane would freeze up. So I'd have to take this out there to unthaw it. But this will work pretty good for thawing out this window so I can get it open. Got it. This kind of weather, you got to be pretty careful because everything tends to break down when it gets this cold. Especially if you got some plastic or something out there, like around the engine, you can just touch that a little bit and it'll snap right off and leave you in a mess. But I have found this to be pretty useful. I would recommend anybody have these, especially if you got some kind of equipment that you're trying to use outside. So, well, I'm going to get this pipe through the window now. I got a little piece made up that I can set in the window when I open it up and close up the bottom and run the pipe through. That's what I'll do right now. Get my glove on and pipe in. Swing this back a little bit. Now I'll stick a screw in there to hold it together a little bit. Prop that window up a little bit too. Now I'm ready to get a fire going. This out a little bit. First we get some small stuff stuffed in there and then light it. This rocket stove is in need of a lot of repair. But all this brick is worn down and busted out, but it still works. Close this up. A little wood adjuster. Start sticking some longer stuff in there. Should be good to get it started. And I'll let her get going. And that's the sound of a rocket stove. It's starting to get going now pretty good. Then I put some bigger pieces in there a little bit later. Yeah, it's too hot to touch right now. And we just got it running out the window, hanging a little bit. The sun is starting to come out, and I just noticed, I looked at it, the thermometer did jump up a little bit already just when that sun starts poking in here. Still a lot of humidity in here. Look, all the doors frosted up. And that's the little makeshift setup I got. You can see the exhaust coming out of the chimney pipe, or my little duct pipe. Looks like the wind is a little bit from the southwest. It's supposed to get up to about 10 below today, but with that sun shining out there, it makes it look a lot warmer than it really is. Then I got to get back. As soon as this warms up, I can take my coat off. I'll get back to rubbing these cement blocks down so I can whitewash them. In this kind of weather, you got to dress in layers. It's kind of hard when you're going in and out of buildings where it's warm and then out in the cold again. But when it warms up a little bit in here, I'll go back to rubbing the concrete blocks. I just take this rubbing block and just wipe it over all the blocks here and all the joints. And it takes all the ridges off and anything that's sticking out so I can paint over it or whitewash over it. I'll whitewash over these walls down here. Probably not all of this wall here. This is the north wall, and I'll probably just whitewash it down to maybe about right here. Because when the sun shines in from the south, it'll hit this lower part of the wall, so I'll probably do this a darker color so it absorbs the heat. I'll add a little wood to this rocket stove. This is just pine I had. These rocket stoves put out some quick heat, but they do take a lot of attention to keep adjusting the wood and filling it in. So I don't know if I'm going to use this in here as a permanent heat source. I got coils of pipe underground here, about a foot underground, all insulated around the perimeter. And that's what I wanted to use for heat. So I got to figure out some way to heat water and pump it around through the ground. Well, it's still 20 below outside, but it didn't take long for it to jump up to about 55 degrees in here. I think it's mostly because of the sun now is starting to shine in here, not because of the rocket stove. Rocket stove is going pretty good, but I think it's mostly because of the sun. Try to get a reading. Yeah, starting to get up there. Yeah, that's way over range there. That's how I break my thermometer. I'll have to get a new thermometer so I can test the temperature in the burn chamber better. But it must be over 1400 degrees in there. But that's how they burn so clean. So I guess I better get to work now. I can work in here pretty comfortably now. I can work in here pretty comfortably now. My jacket off and shirt on. Just gotta knock all these little knobs and ridges off. Take care of that wall. One drawback with these rocket stoves is that if you don't have a good downward draft pulling into this stove, you can get some smoke coming back out the other way. If you look at this piece of pine I stuck in there, you can see it's a little bit green yet. You can see it boiling away there, the sap boiling away. And if you don't have a good draw going through this rocket stove, you can back up and go into the room. So just drop down. Time to put a little more in her again. Knob on there. And you can hear it taking off, rocketing again. I probably should have had these sides built up a little higher, but that's how a rocket stove works. Just draws the air down and through the chamber on the inside and up that heat riser, spreads over the top there and back out again. I don't know how much longer I'm going to let that run in here. It's already up to just about 60 degrees, and that sun is just starting to get more dead on center now, shining in here. It's going to get pretty warm. So I'll get to mixing up some whitewash now. Well, this whitewash is just that white Portland cement again, like I did in the root cellar. And I'll probably have to put 2 or 3 coats on here to get it more even. But fills all the little voids in and stuff because it's kind of thick like a cream. And then it shouldn't wash out and all the humidity we're going to get in here. But I do think I need to get a fan going in here. It's really hot up by the ceiling. It looks like it's about over 60 degrees in here right now, and I could probably get down to a t-shirt. I don't know how much longer I'm going to have that rocket stove going. The sun's beating in here too. So. Yeah, I bet you'll get up over 70 degrees in here today. Thanks for stopping in on this bright sunny day on the first of the year, first of the new year. We'll see you next time.